Hey loves, it's yours truly, Zazira Corderana. How is your love today? I hope your love is beautiful. I hope your love is well. Welcome to Rucom, your source for all things Atlantis and Azaya. Welcome to another video to my channel. In this channel or in this video, I want to talk to you about Atlantean genetics, race, and what it means to be Atlantean, because I feel this topic is very important within the Atlantean community, because I've heard so many different ethnic claims for the Atlanteans. You know, I've heard people say that the Atlanteans were black. I've heard others say that the Atlanteans were white, specifically like the Nordic, blonde-haired, blue-eyed peoples. I've heard claims that the Atlanteans were Native Americans, specifically like the ancestors of the Mayans and so forth. I've heard the Atlanteans were like the Southern Asians or East Indians and so forth. And it continues on. You know, a lot of people, want to claim the title of Atlantean. But what people do not understand, and what people make the error of, is Atlantis did not have a concept of black, white, red, yellow, and so forth. Now, during the later imperial age, yes, they did, when Atlantis was becoming corrupt before the fall. But the vast majority of Atlantean history and civilization, especially in a social sphere, you were known by your ethnicity. You were known as Atlantean, and specifically you were known by your clan, your tribe, and so forth within the realm of Atlantis. On this channel, I focus on the root of Atlantis. So what I mean by root is I focus more on my spiritual dreams and visions that I have received from the mother of Atlantis, my goddess, as I'm an oracle of the civilization, as well as some of the early sources that I have found throughout my research to back up the dreams and visions that I've received from Ma. So a lot of the earliest sources that talk about Atlantis, such as Plato and Timaeus, or Plato's Timaeus and Critias, Diodorus' writings, Herodotus, and so forth, all place Atlantis in North Africa, specifically Northwest Africa. And this is important when it comes to understanding the genetics and the race of the Atlantean peoples. Now, as an oracle, according to my spiritual dreams and visions from Ma, I will say that the Atlantean people, the majority of them had a copper color complexion, so like a light brown or medium brown, tan, tawny complexion. However, they also had many different hues. I saw Atlanteans who were as dark as indigo or like obsidian complexion. I saw Atlanteans, pale albino, who were tawny or like a light skin. There are many Atlanteans who had a mulatto or a mixed look. There are many Atlanteans who had blonde hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, dark brown, light brown. I saw Atlanteans who had black hair, brown hair, blonde hair, red hair, and different textures of hair too. You had Atlanteans who had kinky, thick, curly hair, and then you had Atlanteans who had straight hair, straight or lightly curly hair or wavy hair. So the Atlanteans were very genetically beautiful and mixed race people. And I hesitate to say mixed race because they were just a colorful people, But with that being said, when it comes to, if we're basing Atlantean civilization on the earliest sources, it's important to understand how this genetic diversity came about among the Atlantean population. Atlantis, or the heart of Atlantean civilization and culture, is Northwest Africa, along the the coast of the Atlantic Ocean and the outer islands of Micronesia, such as the islands of Cape Verde, the Canary Islands, Madeira, and the Azores or the Azores. Okay, so this region, right beyond the Pillars of Hercules, or the Strait of Gibraltar, and that area right there, historically, that harbor or the Mediterranean Sea has been used as a source of trade or a region of trade for millennia. People from all over the world came through the Mediterranean and the northern coast of Africa and the Northwest Africa and those islands and so forth. Okay, especially when Atlantean civilization grew to become a large kingdom or an empire, when they spread across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas and spread eastward as far as India, and even as far as around the kingdom of Manushave, which the kingdom of Manushave was a kingdom that that was a kingdom the Divine Mother gave me one night in a spiritual dream. This kingdom existed during the time of Atlantis, and it was located in the land of Sundaland, okay, which is submerged beneath the waters now, which was around where modern day Sumatra in southern Thailand and Myanmar is today, that region. Okay, all of that region was the kingdom of Manushave, but most of the land is underwater now. Okay, so Atlantis became almost a global network of trade in through those various ports that Atlantis had. Those ports grew into city-states, and that's how the empire eventually became a global empire. Okay, and I'll talk more about that in later videos. But when it comes to what it means to be Atlantean, okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what your skin complexion is, your eye color, your hair color, or texture, your genetics or race, whatever. Being Atlantean is a spiritual thing. Atlantean is a spiritual race. It is a spiritual ethnic group. Okay, the one thing that made someone Atlantean was not the color of their skin or their genetics in general. It was if you were born of the mother of Atlantis, whom Diodorus records as the mother of the gods, who the Atlanteans honored. Okay, so those who are born of the mother of Atlantis, who love her, they are born as Atlanteans. They are Atlanteans. Okay. Many people during the time of Atlantis had came and went through that region. Many people have came from all over the earth to Atlantis for various reasons, for work, for study, for education purposes, and, basic trade and so forth. And with all the people coming from different parts of the earth to Atlantis, people intermarried. They became Atlantean through marriage or through just basic citizenship, and they honored the mother of Atlantis, and their became from the soul and the heart and the mind. They became Atlantean. They took on an Atlantean name. They took on a tribal name. They became one with a tribe, and that's another thing about Atlantis. Atlantean culture wasn't exclusive. Atlantis was all about unification and unifying the human race into one whole, unifying the race through the mother of Atlantis. Okay, so, and that's what it means to truly be Atlantis, is to be born of the mother of Atlantis. Because if you are your mother's child, so if you want to become Atlantean, you go through the mother of Atlantis, and that's just how it was. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could say in this video that I haven't said already. But if not, I'll continue to make more videos about this. important topic, but I just feel like as Atlanteans, we should really just let go of the whole race thing, the whole, I am this, I am that, and focus more on the heart and soul of Atlantis and what it means to actually be Atlantean. Because Atlantean literally means star child or child of the light, and that light is the mother of the universe, the soul of the universe. So once you marry your soul to her, once you become one with the light, that alone, that is what makes you Atlantean. Okay? So yeah, loves, that's, I believe that's it for now. But yeah, if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to ask. And with that being said, I love you. Bye.